have to start with you. So my wife right away noticed when we watched this from your role on Once Upon a Time. Um,
Yes.
so you did such a phenomenal job on that, multiple seasons of that show.
Thank
How
you.
would you kind of compare and contrast maybe working on that show versus this film?
Oh, very different. I mean, one was like I was playing Snow White, and one I'm a camp counselor in the modern day world, you know. But it was definitely. I mean, look, Once Upon a Time was will always go down as like a highlight in my life personally and in my career. I was the biggest fan of the show before I was on it. Will remain the one of the bigger fans in the One Sir community. I love them. And but I would say for this one, I mean, this was the first time that I was working with kids my age. That was kind of crazy. It was also I was really kind of playing true to my age and getting to be a kid, which was weird because the only time I've ever been a kid, I've been either thrown in some like horror movie or I'm a princess and like I have an evil stepmom, So it was like a very normal setting. But I had the best time in it, and my heart like it grew 10 more sizes from it. We had a great time.
That's tremendous. Kevin, you also have your own Disney experience, of course. 2 seasons on Bunked, which I happen to know is a huge hit show. I'm kind of in the family entertainment space, so I know that's kind of a big deal. Like for anybody who's under sort of 13, 14, so they know that show. Since it's
Yeah,
about kind of life at summer camp, do you feel like you were more kind of attuned to this role and this space?
I've gotten a lot of people joking about how I keep getting these camp roles, and they're not wrong. To be honest, I really enjoyed working on that show. I did that show for 2 seasons, and actually, my friend Miranda, who I co-starred on that show with, is now doing season 5. She's leading that show, and I'm so proud of her for keeping it going. Uh, but that said, A Week Away is definitely a different world. It's a bit more of an older crowd. So whereas Disney would be more of a 13 to 17 type of crowd, maybe this would be like the 18 to 24, the romance teenager kind of vibe. But I think people will love A Week Away just as much.
Absolutely. Well, Bailee, in the production notes, there talked a little bit about your faith and how that's clearly important to you. And I'm curious if you were familiar with the songs like Place in This World and Great Adventure from growing up.
Yeah, so growing up, we loved music, and a lot of it was our Christian music that my mama always had us playing. But I had actually never heard Great Adventure. I'm sad to say, but I fell in love with it. Place in This World was it's my older brother Connor's one of his favorite songs, and so I grew up knowing about that song through him listening to it. And then Awesome God was something obviously I can remember being really little and saying that in church. But God only knows for King and Country. I mean, I'm such a fan of their work, and I loved that song, and I freaked out when I realized we were able to do it for King and Country song. I was like, this is crazy. So very, very familiar in that world, a big fan before and an even bigger fan now.
The whole kind of counter harmony that was going on with that and Awesome God,
Yeah.
that was really amazingly done. That was both of you really, right? That were involved in, I know, kind of singing that and performing that. You almost feel like Awesome God was made to be this way. I don't know. It was
Wow.
amazing instrumentation on that song.
We got to
Thank
give that to our music producers, I think. Alan Powell, Corey Clark, and Adam Watts, they were the ones that had arranged that medley, and it turned out really well, and they just killed it.
Well, you guys definitely performed it well. And Kevin, you have a ton of dance choreography in this film. I know you both do, but was that a new thing for you at that level of kind of having to be out front so much?
It was a bit new. I like to think that I conquered it, I guess. It just took a lot of rehearsal, a lot of preparation. It wasn't too far off. I had done some musical work on stage in the past, so it just felt like I was doing a musical number, but instead of cheating out for an audience, I was cheating out for a camera. So it wasn't too difficult for
Mm.
me.
Nice. Well, I know that you're a little bit familiar with the contemporary Christian music world too, with your time out on Winter Jam. What did you take away from that experience on the road?
Lifelong friendships more than anything. And for my first tour experience, I'm craving for a lot more afterwards. I do have a debut studio album that's going to be coming out soon with a major record label. I haven't been able to announce too much of it yet, but there's going to be my own project in the works separate from A Week Away, and I'm excited to get that out there.
That's exciting. How cool is that? Well, um, Bailee, kind of when you think about sort of your character and sort of the faith journey that sort of she's on as well, and I know even encouraging Kevin's character as well, but What did you resonate with in that whole journey?
The journey with her in her own faith or with
Ye-
Will's faith?
Yeah, in her own faith. Well, and also encouraging Will's. Absolutely.
No, I think for Avery, what I loved so much about her is I liked her honesty when it came to being very transparent. The fact that she doesn't have it together and she's not by any means perfect, and she is messy, but she loves it about herself, and no, she's not sure of things, but she has faith, and that's what she chooses to believe. And all of those qualities of her, I do find in myself. And as a creator too, as well as like loving this business and loving the idea of getting to have a story out there that has elements of faith and who has elements of family. I like the idea that the picture that was painted seemed like a very open and inclusive one. You don't have to have it all together. You don't have to be in a certain path to be able to watch the movie. It's kind of just in hopes of spreading that love and that hope and that light along the way while you watch it. And I love that about our characters. They're pretty human, and I appreciate that.
Yes. Well, this has been tremendous. Thank you both for getting to have this brief conversation. I love the film, and I know folks will be excited to see it here when it comes out very soon. So
tell your wife I said hello.
I totally will. All right. Thank you both. Have a good
Have a good one.